Buckle up, gearheads. You're on the fast lane to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. Remember the time when the EPA was all gung-ho about having 2/3 of new cars be all electric by 2032? Well, that dream hit a speed bump. The EV enthusiasts had to pump the brakes and face the harsh reality. The market trends have taken a U-turn. EV technology is still in its infancy, and let's not forget the UAW and its influence on the upcoming presidential elections. So, let's dive into the 6 reasons why Biden had to downshift on EVs and succumb to the pressure of reality. Reason number 6, the new EPA rules. A year ago, the EPA proposed ambitious tailpipe rules, aiming for 2/3 of new vehicles to be all electric by 2032. However, the reality of sales figures and the steep emissions requirements led to a significant reduction in the EV adoption target. Now the goal is for 35% of all new vehicles to be all electric by 2032. This slower transition aligns with expert predictions and acknowledges the challenges faced by manufacturers. Despite the new rules, the aim remains to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions. However, there's no mandate to adopt electric vehicles. The new rule allows car makers to meet new standards by also focusing on more profitable hybrids. The EPA's EV targets, ranging between 35 and 56% by 2032, are forecasts rather than mandatory, suggesting potential for further revisions of tailpipe rules. This shift in policy reflects the complexities of transitioning to EVs and the need for a more realistic and flexible approach. Reason number 5, significant slowdown in EV growth. The initial plan for EV adoption hit a roadblock due to a significant slowdown in the market. The EPA's proposal was based on the growth during 2020 and 2022, a period of rapid expansion with year-over-year increases of 90% or more. However, this growth was largely driven by early adopters, tech enthusiasts, and affluent households eager to embrace new technology. Once they had their EVs, the market growth plateaued. Then came the turn of the middle class. With tighter budgets, they needed to make rational choices. And at this point, EVs didn't make the cut. They remained pricier than their gas-powered counterparts without offering enough benefits in return. The slowdown was somewhat expected, except perhaps by the officials. The EPA had predicted a 70% growth in 2023, but the actual increase was only 50%. The real shocker came with the January 2024 figures, showing a mere 15% year-over-year growth. This stark reality check underscored the challenges facing the EV market. Reason number 4, the growing pains of EV technology. The significant slowdown in EV growth can be attributed to the inability of current generation EVs to meet customer demands. The early adopter phase has passed, and the middle class, with their higher expectations, are now the target market. A recent survey by Boston Consulting Group, involving 3,000 U.S. consumers, revealed that nearly 40% plan to purchase an EV as their next vehicle. However, they have high expectations: a 20-minute charging time, a 350-mile driving range, and a price tag of $50,000. This is where the challenge with EV adoption arises. Currently, only one electric vehicle on the market, the Hyundai Ioniq 6 RWD, meets these criteria. This underscores the fact that current EV technology is still too immature for mass adoption. In other words, EVs are not yet up to par. The issue lies in the approach taken by EV makers, who have focused on luxury vehicles with blistering acceleration and opulence, rather than affordability and practicality. Now that the early adopter phase is over, they have little to offer the average consumer. This suggests that we are still a generation or two away from EVs that are both capable and affordable. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's explore reason number 3. Automakers are bleeding money on EVs. A study by Boston Consulting Group reveals that automakers are incurring a loss of $6,000 on average for every $50,000 electric vehicle sold. This isn't a surprise, as it's been known for a while that profitability remains a challenge in the electric car industry. The high costs of battery production, raw materials, and the struggle to optimize the production process all contribute to these losses. Legacy car makers are feeling the strain. They're being forced to cancel or postpone their planned EV investments to conserve capital. Take Ford, for instance. It's estimated that the company has lost around $36,000 on each F-150 Lightning sold last year. With total EV losses estimated at around $5 billion, it's no wonder that Ford decided to delay its $12 billion EV investments planned for this year. Consequently, the planned production for the F-150 Lightning in 2024 has been halved, affecting around 1,400 workers. Other automakers like GM are also grappling with similar challenges. GM's losses are not just due to production costs, but also significant quality issues. As a result, GM has decided to postpone the production of the all-electric pickups, Chevy Silverado EV and GMC Sierra EV, to 2025, and the production of the new electric drive unit won't start until the last quarter of this year. Reason number 2, the presidential race. The upcoming presidential race is revving up, and if you ask the pundits, they'll tell you that the keys to the White House lie in industrial states like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and of course Michigan. With the UAW publicly backing Biden, it was clear that the current administration would have to navigate these rules with care and listen to the union. After all, the transition to EVs could potentially put thousands of jobs at risk. Now, with the new set of rules, the Detroit 3 can breathe a sigh of relief, especially considering the new regulations for heavy-duty pickups, which are some of their biggest cash cows. By 2032, heavy-duty pickups will be required to cut their emissions by less than half. In practice, this means they'll be allowed to pollute 3 times more than light-duty pickups and 4 times more than passenger cars, which will undoubtedly help the 3 companies avoid billions of dollars in fines, which seemed inevitable with the initial set of proposed rules. All this translates to a steady profit and more money for further developments, which consequently led to a rise in shares by up to 3.5% last week. Reason number 1, hybrids are gearing up to be the next big thing. It seems that Akio Toyota was right on the money about EVs. The transition needs to be gradual, but many car makers tried to bypass that by jumping straight into EVs, overlooking hybrid technology. The government was pushing for the same thing, but now it's clear they were barking up the wrong tree. The midterm future is in hybrids because they are more affordable and convenient than the current generation of EVs. After all, the market has spoken, with gas-electric vehicles now accounting for nearly 9% of the market, compared to EVs that account for less than 8%. While EV growth is slowing down, hybrids are picking up speed and will continue to do so in the future. Just consider that the new Camry is hybrid only, and the same is expected with the next generation RAV4. We're talking about 2 models that sell in the hundreds of thousands annually, so just these 2 have the potential to significantly impact market growth. Logically, other car makers are following suit, including Ford and GM, which initially wanted a quick EV transition, but are now also announcing big plans for the hybridization of their lineups. Thanks for tuning into Highway Herald. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay in the loop with the latest vehicle updates and upcoming videos. See you on the next ride.